The 49ers have some new dynamics that will factor into their late season playoff run. They are in Arizona for practice this week in advance of a Monday night game, Chris, against the Buffalo Bills. Let's hear from Kyle Shanahan, coach of the 49ers, regarding this unexpected but not completely unforeseen development where they can't play their games at home and have to go to Arizona.
Basically, we're moving out there, and our hotel will be our new Levi Stadium, which is where we go to work. And just like when we're here, you go to work every day, you get tested. When we're here, then we go straight home to our house and stay there till you come back the next day to work. Now I look at it as our house happens to be where our work's at. So when we're done with work, guys just go upstairs to their hotel room. We can't sit there. You don't want to hang out and stuff. That's how people get in trouble. And that's how it spreads. That's what happened to us during our bye week at a hotel. So we won't sit there and hang out at all. So we'll work there, and then the guys will go up to their hotel room.
It's often said that guys can bond when they're kind of in that same spot.
Honestly, no, none at all. We're not allowed to bond in those spots. That's what guys did for 30 minutes after dinner, after the New Orleans game. And that's what, got us a couple positive tests, during our bye week. We don't have tables out where they can eat so people don't hang out. The place that we bond is really on the field or in Zoom meetings.
Yeah, this isn't bonding. This isn't about bonding, but here's what it's about. And I guarantee you, even though this is a hardship for the individual players, for the individual coaches, for everybody else on that staff that has to leave home for up to 5 weeks if the 49ers have to play in Arizona the rest of the season, there are coaches out there, and maybe Kyle would admit this in a quiet, private moment, Chris, but I guarantee you there are other coaches that are jealous of what Kyle Shanahan now has. He has a bubble.
Yeah, right.
He has his guy, right? Because Kyle glossed over the idea, at home they just go home and they stay home. How do you know they go home and they stay home? How do you know that they aren't being exposed when they go home and they're around other family members? This is the thing that coaches have been worried about all year long. Once those players and everyone else leave the facility out into a community where the virus is running rampant, you worry that you're going to get guys who show up positive. That worry, that stress, that anxiety is now plummeted if everyone is in the hotel. The hotel is Levi Stadium, as Kyle said. That this is not quite discovering plutonium by accident because we've known it's been there all year. This is circumstances giving the 49ers what most coaches would want, a local bubble where you don't have to worry about your guys when they go home at night.
Well, it could be, to what you're saying, you're going down a playoff run like this. There's no room for error right now with the 49ers to where, it could be kind of a blessing in disguise. I hear you there. I do. But, man, I just think about, first off, the 49ers in totality, their year. Wow. COVID, Super Bowl loss, all that. Record-breaking injuries. We've never seen a team really, especially a defending Super Bowl champion, have to deal with the amount of injuries the 49ers have, the star players that they've missed. Now you deal with this too, and there's just this ongoing feud between the 49ers and the city of Santa Clara and issues there. And to have to go there and, to like what you're saying, it's a good thing as far as the bubble mentality, and you don't have to worry about that. But, wow, what a whirlwind just for players and coaches and everything to just be on the road again. Meetings, everything like that is going to be a little awkward. Coaches, where do I watch my film? Where do we break this down? How does this all work? That's just some curveball, some wrench to throw into an organization. I know Kyle can handle it. I'm not worried about that. But just the 49ers, I'm amazed of all the things and obstacles they've had to overcome this year.
And I watched the 49ers-Rams game back yesterday. We made that the subject of our PFTPM weekly rewatch.
Yeah.
The 49ers, even with everything they've been through,
right,
even with all those key players gone, they are still a quality team.
They are.
To go into L.A. and complete the sweep of a Rams team that knew it couldn't afford to be swept by a team in its own division. Now they have to worry about the 49ers potentially catching them, leapfrogging them. The 49ers just 2 games behind, but they hold that tiebreaker edge with the Rams. That was a huge, huge win. And I've got even more respect for your guy, Kyle, for his ability to and it's that Belichick. I keep comparing him to Belichick in a good way.
Yeah.
Not the gruff, gratuitous guy that rolls his eyes and harumps when he's asked a question that he doesn't like, but the next man up and the no excuses. No excuses. We expect whoever comes in to replace the guy that's injured or is on the COVID-19 reserve list to play at the level that we expect for the starter.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
Again, it's still not putting them in the category of in the playoffs, but they're in the hunt. And they could be as dangerous from the back of the pack as they were from the front of the pack, because they're, to me, the NFC's equivalent of the Patriots.
Yeah.
If they get in,
Scary.
you don't want them showing up in your building in January.
Yeah, no, it's there's still, like you said, too many big physical guys up front. They're still a good-looking football team. And then even with those guys that you're talking about that are not starters, that are the backups, everything, the one thing – that coaching staff does is they give their players the little bit of a schematical advantage always, too. I mean, Kyle's amazing at finding ways for the offense to get off and make plays, no matter who's the quarterback or whatever it is. And now he's got Ayuk and Deebo Samuel both healthy. And, no George Kittle, but it's enough of him to play with between Mostert, Wilson, some of the running backs they have. And he does a great job of making the game easy for guys, making it fun, and then putting them in positions that are meant for them to succeed. And then Robert Saleh is the same way on the defensive side of the ball. Robert Saleh, I know he was this big head coaching candidate last year because why? They were a Super Bowl team. He should still be one this year. He's doing an unbelievable job. It should. He's a damn good coach. He really is. He's creative as hell. His team always plays hard, and that's what's impressive about them. It really is, and it goes into something you and I have talked to, too, the kind of player they've drafted and signed in free agency there, where it's just, wait, it's my turn? Coach said run through the wall? Okay, I'm going to run through the wall. There's no hesitation. Let's go. We saw the psycho-ness of that team at the playoff game last year, remember? I think you and I and Rodney were all taken back like, whoa, they got a lot of psychos out here. Whoa, they're overconfident. And whoa, they don't give a damn. And it's what Lynch and Shanahan have done to that organization.
Yeah, and that's a key, and I think that needs to be amplified. We noticed that last year at a time when you have limited contact, limited padded practices, limited, if any, tackling to the ground in practice. You need guys who can flip the switch and go be badasses.
Yeah.
And not have to practice tackling. You don't, for certain guys, you don't need to practice what you innately know how to do, and that's what they have. One quick point before we move on, because this kind of dawned on Shireen and I last night as we were talking about both the Seahawks and the 49ers on PFTPM. They have Deebo Samuel in San Francisco, and he was awesome this week. After missing 5 weeks, he came back and didn't miss a beat.
Right.
He was great. He was the best player on the field for the team.
Yep.
If DK Metcalf had just dropped a few more spots, they could have had him. They took Jalen Hurd, the Baylor receiver, who's never played because of injury.
Yeah.
And I just would love to know. I'd love to know. You need to get Kyle drunk one night and ask him if Metcalf had been there, if the Seahawks hadn't taken him. It was just 3 spots later when the 49ers drafted, and they drafted another receiver. Could you imagine Deebo Samuel and DK Metcalf on that team? Now, I don't know that Metcalf would have the opportunities that he's had in Seattle to become who he's become.
Yeah.
But could you imagine those two guys on the field?
I can. And I feel pretty confident in saying that if DK Metcalf was there for that pick, that Kyle would have taken him. Yeah. I know Kyle might not like me saying this or whatever. He really liked DK Metcalf. He liked Deebo Samuel a little bit more, obviously. I think he felt like he fit his offense and a little bit with the speed sweep stuff, and that was it. But he was very pro DK Metcalf. I'd have a hard time thinking he would have passed him up if he was on the board again. And wait, one last thing too, Mike. I know they're playing their games there. Are they staying there all week through the next few weeks too? That's where I'm just a little confused with some of the comments.
Sounds like they are.
They are,
Sounds
right?
Sounds like they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because a few times you said Levi Stadium Hotel, and I was just like, what?
No.
Okay.
No, Kyle said our hotel is basically Levi's Stadium.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
where we're going to be, and
Right.
that's where we're going to stay. So they're staying there, and apparently the families have option to come out and join them. I don't know how all that's going to work. And again, you're introducing individuals into your mini bubble that could be problematic. Or I think what could happen is the families could set up at an Airbnb or something like that.
Is that
and
what
then,
it is?
And
Okay.
then it is the same deal. You go home,
Well,
you come
he
back,
said
and get tested.
Levi, and it's State Farm, right? The other stadium. That's where I think
State
I got
Farm
confused.
is the other stadium.
So sorry.
Yep.
Sorry about that. I'm blonde and I play
That's all right.
football. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.